In 63 BC, Pompey the Great enters Jerusalem and takes control. Judea becomes a Roman client state, and its political sovereignty collapses. Rome now governs territory, taxation, administration, and military order. But Rome does not control the worldview. By this point in history, Rome has already been conquered intellectually by Greece. This deeper conquest began long before Roman soldiers reached the temple. In 146 BC, Rome conquered Greece militarily. But between 146 and 63 BC, Greece conquered Rome philosophically. Greek philosophy, not Latin tradition, became the intellectual language of the Roman elite. Stoic, Platonic, and Aristotelian systems shaped Roman education. Greek rhetoric defined political and legal discourse. Greek cosmology framed the universe. Greek categories governed interpretation. The concept of the Logos entered Roman thought, and the Septuagint became the scripture of the empire. Alexandria still stood in 63 BC, the capital of the philosophical empire, the empire that controls meaning rather than armies. Thus, two powers coexisted. Rome was the empire of law, ruling through administration, military force, and legal order. Greece was the empire of philosophy, the power Daniel describes as the little horn in chapter 8, a force that rises from the Greek world shaped by interpretation, skilled in riddles, casting truth to the ground, and prospering through intellectual influence rather than destruction. Rome conquered Greece with the sword. Greece conquered Rome through ideas. Here is the turning point that many have missed. The two little horns of Daniel 7 and Daniel 8 are not the same. And only now, with the seal lifted, can the prophetic structure be seen as it truly is. Daniel 7 describes the fourth beast, imperial Rome, and centuries later, the ecclesiastical political little horn that rises from it in AD 538 and dominates until 1798. But Daniel 8 describes another horn entirely, one that comes from Greece, not Rome, one that holds power not by armies, but by philosophy. Imperial Greece fell to imperial Rome, but Greek philosophy conquered the Roman mind, the Roman elite, the Roman worldview. This distinction has been overlooked for centuries because the prophecy was sealed. Now, with the full historical line visible, the two horns stand in complete clarity. Daniel 7, imperial Rome, followed by papal Rome. Daniel 8, imperial Greece, followed by the Greek empire of philosophy, the empire of interpretation and meaning. With this background, the prophetic significance of 63 BC becomes unmistakable. Daniel 8 describes a king fierce in appearance, understanding dark sayings, casting truth to the ground, and prospering through deceit. This is not Rome. It is the Greek philosophical system, conquering through language, reshaping identity, transforming revelation through the Septuagint, and universalizing religion by redefining its concepts and definitions. Rome becomes the instrument, not the source. Greek philosophy uses Rome as the global carrier of its worldview. Thus, 63 BC marks the moment when the legal empire rises to global power while remaining intellectually subordinate to the philosophical empire. Philosophy already controls scripture through the LXX. It prepares the world for the next stage, the philosophical religious universalization that will take shape under Pauline Christianity. Rome takes the land. Greece takes the mind. Together they create the Greco-Roman world, the environment required for the next developments in the prophetic timeline. The significance of this moment is profound. Israel becomes provincial. The scripture in daily use becomes Greek. Culture becomes Greco-Roman. The empire becomes Greco-Roman. Authority becomes legal. Interpretation becomes philosophical. The Rome Empire becomes the body. The philosophical empire remains the mind. This dual structure rules the world from 63 BC onward and continues into our own age. Modern civilization is built on Greek philosophy, our worldview, concepts, and identity, and Roman administration, our law, institutions, and bureaucracy. Democracy, parliament, senate, legal codes, and civic structures all come from this Greco-Roman fusion. And the nations that do not possess these systems internally live under the authority of those that do. With the roles of the two horns now distinct and the historical line finally visible, the narrative is ready to move toward its next development.